guys? This is Underground Outsiders, and today I'm with.
K.XXIV,
All right,
the
for the
one and
longest,
only.
for the longest time, I didn't know how to like pronounce your name, bro. Like, I was wondering, like, how the fuck do you say this guy's name?
Yeah. So I've been I don't know, I made this name. Well, I started making music in like eighth grade,
Uh huh.
and I made the name, and I was like, I want to make it like cool, but like meaningful. So K is like, uh, it has like a bunch of representations and a bunch of different stuff, and we can get into that later. But basically, like the XXIV are like Roman numerals
Uh huh.
for 1014, which was it used to be a really special day for me, but now it's kind of just turned into just the name itself. But it holds like multiple meanings. One of them being like just K was like a character I came up with because like when I was little, I used to like LARP all the time and shit like that.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was a character I came up with, and I felt like really comfortable just kind of having that alias when I was hanging out with people because I was like trying to avoid reality and like just like get into a game or something to get my mind off of shit in like the real world. So that kind of represents like I'm like not hiding, but like becoming something that you're interested in and you're passionate about. And so like the letter K is kind of all representative of that. The XXIV are Roman numerals, but like honestly, at the end of the day, I just go by KX. And
Yeah.
most people just tell me that, like even my really close homies is like, yeah, it's KX. Cause like trying to tell people like, oh yeah, I go by K.XXIV, it's always like a second or third time
It's
they
gonna be
gotta
like a
say it.
long conversation, right?
Oh, for real, bro. But yeah, I don't know. I've gotten used to it to the point so much where it's like I gotta like be there for the person. I gotta text them. So if I'm like in person and somebody's like typing on their phone, they'll like show me and I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. Or like I'll like correct them. But yeah, kind of like a meme at this point. I'll be like dropping that shit in my music too, like lyrics about like people get my name wrong and like yeah, it's
All
fun.
right. All right. Next question. Who are some of like your inspirations when it comes to like making music?
So, um, I started I started making music entirely because I listened to a lot of 21 Pilots
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. And this is like middle school age me. I didn't really like listen to rap music until like high school. Like I grew up with like Eminem in the car, but like
Yeah.
I didn't really and like my dad would play like old music videos from like the 80s and 90s. So I heard like MC Hammer and like Vanilla Ice and like some other like just kind of one hit wonders, but I didn't like really listen to rap. Like I knew about it enough, but like eighth grade into like freshman year, I got like hella into rap, and the first rapper I ever like actually listened to was Lil Uzi,
Mm-hmm.
which
So
was
that
weird.
was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I think so. I was going on a trip to Washington D.C. through my school, and I was with a bunch of kids that listen to rap music, and I was kind of this I was like friends with everybody in school basically, but I just didn't I I was really emo. Like I had the fringe and shit. I was wearing
Yeah.
like everything from Hot Topic was like on my body at that point. So I was
Yeah.
in this like little corner of the bus listening to like 21 Pilots on repeat and shit like that. And then I overheard that what I started listening to rap when XO Tour Life came out.
Yeah.
And because a couple of my friends in the back of the bus were listening to that and talking about it. So I put that on for the first time and I'm like, oh damn, I really like this. And then through Uzi, I got into X,
Mhm.
XXX. And that's where it was like just downward spiral into the genre. That I was just like I had so much homework I had to do because I felt late to the party.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of my friends now have been like growing up with rap music since like, when they were born. And like even though I had that kind of woven in, like my like my environment was not really like it was more like just what was on the radio.
Hmm.
And like my dad, he'd be playing like Johnny Cash and like all like George Strait and all these old country singers. So like that was like the first shit I ever like listened to.
That
Um,
that's what's up, man. That's
period.
what's up.
As a kid. But
So
to answer your question, sorry, I
no,
got
it's
off
cool.
track. But definitely Suicide Boys for
Hmm.
sure, and Tyler the Creator. Like those are the big three.
So
Just
would
like
you?
and yeah.
Sorry, you could continue a little bit.
Well, I was just gonna say that like Suicide Boys definitely inspired me on how I produce. I
Hmm.
learned how to produce through just listening to music 24/7.
Yeah.
At like just back and back to back, and I'm like, okay, this is where the hi-hats go and kicks go and snares go, and like yeah, so it's kind of been like that.
All right. So like when you first made your first song, like how was it? Like like 'cause I know from like a lot of artists, like their first music is obviously not the best quality. So I just wanted to
Yeah,
hear like your experience when you first started making music.
man, I had GarageBand on my I had like an iPad mini, and I was chilling with my friend Nojin,
Hmm.
uh who's in the collective I'm in. And like bro and I have been like friends since like fifth grade. So like we were in his room in middle school, and like I had played this ukulele and recorded it on just like the mic on my iPad, so it sounded really grainy and shitty, but his cat meowed in the background. So it was like this cool little like just ad lib on playing the uke, and then I came up with like this shitty ass like just boom 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 like drum pattern.
Hmm.
And I yeah, I tried rapping, and like I said, like 21 Pilots was my first influence, so I really tried to like rap like Tyler Joseph, who's like the lead guy.
Hmm.
Um and it did not sound good.
Oh
And I
my
have that shit
god.
privated. I took that shit down after like a year or two because I'm like, bro, because like when I was growing up in high school, kids would like make fun of me and like
Yeah.
other kids for making music and shit. So like when it got to the
For
point where
making music?
yeah, yeah. Oh, bro. Like, I mean, if you were in school and you had a SoundCloud, you were like a targeted individual for like just like bullying. It was like, and it wasn't even like bad shit. Like you didn't ever like it didn't get past anything. But I had this other kid that was we weren't really like close or anything. But he like made music, but he made like meme rap type shit,
Yeah, like
and
some
he
ugly
got
god type shit.
yeah, yeah, he got memed on really hard because he was like legitimately flexing in his music.
Hmm.
In my eyes, I don't flex. I don't really like. I'm not with that kind of vibe. But
Yeah.
bro was like, yeah, I got all these bitches, money, whatever, and then like kids would like fucking see this kid walking around and look at him and like, bro, you get no bitches. What are you talking? You know what I mean?
Oh
So
my
it's like I
god.
I stayed clear of like that shit, and I just kind of made music uh just as an outlet and for
Hmm.
my friends.
Yeah.
So because that was kind of like the whole reason why I started was like with like mental health shit,
Hmm.
and kind of grown up in that with those difficulties
Yeah.
in a way.
So how did you first get into the underground scene?
Um, I didn't know. Like
Hmm.
I was just a kid, so like I made an Instagram, um, and I just kind of followed a bunch of people and just started to really like it got to the point where I was following so many random accounts, but then through those random accounts, like people would like, be posting about I remember like a big artist. I mean, he's still big, but like a big
Hmm.
artist that stood out to me when I first got in the underground scene was like Seven God, Seven.
Oh,
And
Seven. I
like
remember him.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Project,
Hmm.
that was when like scream rap was like
That was
hella.
like
It
that
was
had to
like
be like
rap metal.
2019, 2018.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So that was like my first introduction, and my first album I made is called Pink Hoodie, and
yeah.
I have mixed reviews with that album.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my goblin in a sense. I was just like I was trying all this different shit, and I didn't know how the fuck to produce. But once I released that, I got kind of inducted into a lot of people's eyes that were making trap metal and shit like that. And I found my friend Inwoods Ghost,
Hmm.
uh, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm making a collective right now." And at the time, his friend Anthony, rest in peace,
Hmm.
uh, was with him, and he just us three kind of like started like, okay, let's like hit up all these people and just kind of start. So I through kind of starting a collective, we obviously downsized and changed the name and all that shit, but we found a lot of people through that. So I was very big on community, and
Yeah.
when people followed me, like just whether you were an artist or just like I hate saying fan, so that's why I call them the cult because we're like a family.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, they're all cultists. It's a
Mhm.
great cult. Or
Yeah.
like if you're talking about the collective, it's a grime cult.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like I just DM people and I talk to people and it wouldn't like get past like in-depth conversation, but like I would just like hit people up and post on my story all the time, like, hey, you are not alone. Like I got you. My DMs are always open if you need something. And I feel like through that, I really like got introduced to the underground community. Is like not only just through other artists and being open with other artists, but just contacting other people too. Just like random people that followed me, and I'm like, oh man, thank you so much for putting me on your story or like all this other shit. But
Yeah.
I hate that idea of like going into it and thinking that like I'm some type of god, because
Yeah.
like I don't think that way at all. People DM me and like talk me up, and I'm like, bro, I'm just some like kid making music in my closet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
what's
like
up.
I wanted to approach a lot of other artists with that same kind of like mentality because I don't think of anyone like you know on this high pedestal. I feel like we're all just trying to get to the same place and trying to be competitive or trying to be something else that you're not is just only gonna like push you away from other people. And I feel like in this community we gotta kind of rise up together, like grow together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I agree. But what would you say is like a personal highlight for your career as an artist so far?
Risk,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Didn't it like touch
yeah.
like 2 million streams? I don't know if
Huh?
it's like more now. Like, didn't it touch like 2 million streams?
It's at 18 million
Oh
right now.
shit! I'm
Yeah, it's
late.
at yeah, it's on 18 million on Spotify.
Hey, so
And
when it started
yeah,
blowing up, like, how did you
you want to know when it like you want to know the actual day
feel?
because
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like I was sitting in it was in right when my junior year started
Hmm.
and I posted that song. It was getting like pretty good traction actually. It was getting like a couple hundred. It was already like becoming my biggest song on my platform.
Hmm.
But it just wasn't at the level that was at. And I remember I was sitting in AP government and I sat down at my desk and I just checked my phone. It was in the morning. I was tired as fuck. I was like, man, I don't want to be here. I go on my phone and I go on Spotify for artists and I like check and I double take and like, there's like a bunch of monthly listeners. I'm like, okay. And then I go into the audience and like the streams, like page where you can check the stats. And it was like, it just went like up, all the way up. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was just chilling at my desk in school. I'm like, nobody knows this.
Yeah, you couldn't
Like,
even pay
and,
attention in class, and you were so happy.
like, for real, that's all I could think about. I'm like, what the fuck? And then day after day after day, I just like I kept on, it snowball effect. It just kept on growing, and I'm so happy because I feel so weird telling people about that song because like if they just meet me or I give them my music, they're bound to listen to Risk
Hmm.
because it's my top song. But what I'm most happy about is that the lyrical content shines through on that shit because I wrote that when I was going through like a really 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 bad time, and I wrote that shit in like a day. I produced it and wrote it all in a day, and it probably took me less than a couple of hours to finish it. And I just like I remember like I sat there and I listened to it in my closet because that's where I usually had recorded, and I was just like I was on the verge of tears because I was
Yeah.
like, damn, it's like, but it was meaningful, and
Hmm.
I think that's why it kind of shines through as one of my bigger songs, is because it just that what's real will prosper type shit.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, no, that's a huge accomplishment. Just like I don't know, man, working with so many great people too is like a
Yeah.
huge thing for me. I think that like you and I both are friends with Crimson Gray.
Yeah.
Dude
I've
is
known him for a
dope.
long time, probably like 4 years, at 5 years at this point. He's
He
a cool
is
dude.
the most talented individual, like one of the most talented individuals I've ever met. He voice acts now, like all that shit, but like we were I gotta be careful every time I call him because every time I call him up, he's got my number. I call him up and we talk for like probably 3 to 4 hours every
Yeah.
single time. Yeah, I'll be like, yo, bro, like I can only talk for so long. I'll be like talking to him thinking it'll be like a 30-minute conversation. 3, 4 hours every time, bro. Is so insightful and down to earth. He's
Yeah.
great. I've worked with like I've gone to work with Chris Strife, who's a still like up and coming artist, Die Perry,
Yeah.
which was super dope. He was on Death City tapes, and then of course my collective like No Gins No God, and was Ghost, so Sandy, Carey, they're all fucking talented and very like mindful people. It's so dope. So that's like a big thing for me is just working with all these different kinds of people. I love seeing what other people can kind of bring to the table
Hmm.
in terms of content and just like their vision.
Yeah.
So
So, hold on. Gotta think about this question first.
all good.
What advice would you give to someone who just started making music?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Um, don't 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 rush things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect that every single time you're going to post something or do something that is gonna blow up right away. If you believe in yourself, like people say that, if you believe in yourself like hard enough or well enough or like continuing to do that, it will come true. And that is true, but you also gotta put in the work.
Yeah.
Promotion is huge. Promotion is a huge thing. And as an artist, I hate it. Not necessarily saying that you should go on like TikTok or like Instagram Reels and try to do that shit, but it is helpful.
Hmm.
I
It
think
works
that
for different people.
I just hate that we're in that period right now though.
Yeah.
Like where
I
like that
understand
shit
though.
is just it's so like overbearing. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just gonna say like make what you want to make, be yourself, be confident in yourself. Don't be afraid to like speak on things that like are personal to you. Just if whether you're rapping, singing, or whatever, be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Say something meaningful too. Don't just do like all that like ignorant shit all the time. Even though it's fun to listen to and turn up to, like make sure you make music for yourself too, not just for other people. It's
Yeah.
important to really like hone in on that artistry and know why you're here, you know?
Yeah. All right. So this is actually a good question. What is your process for making music? And if you need like clarification, like do you need to like be living life currently in order to like come up with music, or does it like come to you like randomly?
Um, I mean, I definitely gotta say like I base a lot of my lyrics off my experiences. Cause I'll be talking about like driving in cars and like hanging out with my friends. And obviously if I didn't go out and do that shit, I wouldn't be writing about it.
Yeah.
So I think it comes in hand, but I just have so many memories with so many cool people. I write about my collective a lot because a lot of my homies are in Grime Cult. We met through high school, a lot
Yeah.
of us. Inwood and Slit were out in different states at the time, but we've all linked up before too and hung out. But I read a lot about that shit. Um, but usually I'll go through a experience or if I'm kind of just trying to put a project together, I'll pull out shit from like the files in my head and I'll be like, okay, like, this happened. I want to write about this. But process is like I I want to write everything like I want to make, shit sound cool and that you can turn up to, but I want it to be meaningful.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's not meaningful, I don't want to like talk about it, And it'll
Hmm.
be like just it doesn't even have to be like some like super super heartfelt shit, but I just want it to like somebody hears that, they'll understand or they can relate. And plus I reference like a ton of pop culture shit. Like I have so many One Piece bars, bro, because
Yeah.
I'm all caught up on that shit. That's my favorite anime of all time.
Hmm.
Like yeah, I got so many fucking bars for like anime and pop culture, so that really helps the writing process. But yeah.
So, what would you say is like your favorite lyric that you came up with?
Oh shit. I got so many, bro. Oh my God. Uh, you know, I I
You can
remember
name
like
multiple if you want to. It doesn't have to be just
oh
one.
yeah. Fuck. Hold on. I can go on my phone real quick.
All right, do your
Actually,
thing.
this isn't my favorite. my favorite verse, but I'm doing an open for this dude named Reverse Playback. He's from
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee, and
Yeah.
he's a really talented artist. But I can spit some shit for you.
Mm-hmm.
So goes, I've been missing for a minute, probably in the back of a 2012 Honda Civic. Contemplate decisions of what happened, like what is it? Blowing smoke, know they could go, fuck with division. I'm my demon side the man, got a sword in my hand, move like pistol of pistons, move like wizards of witches. So I fly like a bat, you a pigeon, you a fake face, fake name, fake ass gimmick. When I wrote that shit, I was like, damn, that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. Hold up. Hold up. Sorry.
Yeah, no
I gotta
problem.
go on my phone real quick.
No
Sometimes it's
problem.
hard to like pull up shit on the fly because I'm like,
Yeah, no problem.
uh,
I'll just edit all like the dead air out afterwards.
okay,
Yeah,
cool,
it's
bro. I
cool.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes. So this song is called Spiders, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sing it because my singing voice is not perfect, but
Yeah.
this is like some of the realest shit I wrote. So it goes, feeling so alone again. Spiders crawl beneath my skin. Breathe me out and breathe me in. Consequencing more like sin. Take care of her when I lose breath, 'cause I can't rest with my heart to shreds. I gave you all, I gave my best, and demons I trust until my death. I lock myself and break the key, 'cause pain is what keeps company. I say I'm fine so carelessly, as I carry your body so carefully. Skin becomes so paper thin, with blood like ink right from the pen. We dance like flames, we dance again, among the wolves, among the men.
Yeah,
And that shit.
that was fire.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. No problem. Um,
Thank
this is actually a good question. What is the
you.
dumbest comparison you've gone with another artist? Yeah.
Um, I don't. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I would. That's funny you said that because like I've had people compare me to other artists that I haven't like really thought of. Um, man, that's a good. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing comes to mind right away. I
Mhm.
mean, people can definitely see the influence in some of my music, but it's not really like a direct comparison.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah, the
yeah, I'll
reason
come
why
back to you.
yeah, the reason why I asked that question because I know like a lot of people like that kind of like make similar music to you and like the trap metal scene. Like everyone kind of gets compared to like Scar Lord, NASCAR Allo, or X. So I just wanted to ask that question.
Well, like I don't associate really with trap metal anymore.
Uh huh.
I'm kind of out of that scene, and not that like I like no disrespect. It's just like kind of my music, I guess, in a way has grown
Yeah,
into a
from that.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to find my sound for the longest time, and when I
Mhm.
first started making music, I was a really angry kid. I had a lot of shit on my mind, a lot of shit I wanted to say, and a lot of the influences I had at the time were more angrier artists. Like, I mean, X was throwing out fucking Rip Roach and Young Brats, and I'm like, that shit's cool. I want to make something like that. Or Scarlord, what you were saying.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like I want to scream, I want to yell, and get that shit out. But I started slowing down on that shit and really realizing what I was saying. Even though a lot of the stuff I wrote for Pink Hoodie and like my angrier tracks were mostly metaphoric, but they were still like really violent, and I didn't want to represent that for the rest of my life because I was in that weird transition of middle school to high school. So I was kind of
Still trying to
growing
like
up.
find yourself. Still trying to find
Yeah,
yourself and stuff. Yeah.
bro, I'm 20 years old and I'm still trying to find myself.
Yeah.
Like I, I be making like you can hear it in my music too. I be making all this different kind of shit like Pirate Cove, my latest album. Like I released something like 720, which is boom bap, and then like Pirate Cove, which I like thought of like more like Cardi or Yeet
Mhm.
kind of influence. It's just like everything is different, but I don't like put myself in a box. I like being able to like go back and listen to my music and the lyrics, bro. Like I'll be like, oh my God, I was like at this point like 2 years ago. This is so crazy. Or I was going through this. Like I listen to Risk and I'm like, damn, like I wish I could go back and tell little me like everything is gonna be okay. Cause some of the shit
Yeah.
I be writing is so like dark and deep, but I fuck with it. I love it. It's like journaling for me.
hmm Do you look back on like your earlier music with what's the word? Like do you cringe at your earlier music because like I know like like what you were saying, like you were entering a different phase in your life, and
Yeah,
like you're not gonna be who you was when you was like 18,
yeah.
17. So I just wanted to know if you
Oh,
have any like moments where you like cringed at your music.
everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does, bro. I haven't met one person that hasn't ever been like, "Oh man, I'm taking this shit down. I'm private in this shit."
Yeah.
I go back. I'll be playing shit when I'm with like my girlfriend and my friends and shit. Sometimes I'll throw on like a little like old track on the aux. I was at my apartment out in Chicago and I played some shit for my friends Dylan and Cy, who both
Yeah.
make music, and we were like playing our older shit. And I played them a couple private tracks, and I'm like, "This is you? This is crazy!" And like Julia, my girlfriend, she started listening to like the shit that she liked hearing, so she didn't even like listen to Risk when she first met me, which was really cool. Or when I told her about my music, she didn't really listen to my older shit. She listened to like Burn Two Burn Pods and some other songs where they're more recent. So it's like people hear my voice when out because I was trying to go for a more like high pitched voice because I was trying to find that shit and I
Yeah.
didn't know what level I wanted to go for, and I liked the distortion on that shit because I thought it sounded cool. So I was like kind of like doing hyperpop before hyperpop was like super popular. I got like when like everybody's like pitching up their vocals now and shit like
Yeah.
that. I just did that like without any preset. So I just made my voice high uh to do that shit, and like I'll go back and I'm like, oh man, like this would sound so much better if I just redid this shit. So, but yeah, I cringe all the time when
Mm.
I'm like, oh, and especially like a lot of my family, like they'll want to hear about my music and stuff
Yeah.
because it'll be like Thanksgiving dinner and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm making music. And they're like, oh, send the link. And I'm like, I, yeah,
You have to
that,
look you have to look through like certain songs to like see which ones you would be comfortable with like sending them.
yeah. My aunt one time we were at like a little Christmas party for our family, and my aunt wanted to know about my music.
Yeah.
And I have this album called If I Died That Night, Part One. And
Mhm.
it's like it's I think my second album, second or third, but she was going back in my like discography and she found that and she
Mhm.
read it out loud and I was like sweating my fucking ass off, bro. I almost shit myself. I'm like, oh no, because I want like people to think that like I'm on like some like you gotta be like constantly checking in with me type shit,
Yeah.
like I'm good. I
Mhm.
just it can get out of context, it can get a little weird. And I have a couple of songs too where I'm a little uh profane per se.
Yeah.
And when I
You wouldn't
like
want them
have
to
like
hear that.
yeah. Well, I most of my songs I'm either saying fuck or shit because those are like my two favorite words. So
Yeah.
it's just it is what it is, but that yeah, like I'm moving past it though because I'm older and I'm more confident in my shit. But back when I first started making music, I told like nobody about that shit because I was
Yeah.
like so worried about getting like fucking judged.
Mhm.
But fuck that shit now. We balling.
Yeah.
So
If you had the opportunity to work with any artist, it doesn't have to be underground. Who would it be?
alive or dead?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Um, I think I have this like goal sheet, right?
Mhm.
um that I made for myself, and I've hit a couple of goals and I'm really like happy about it, but it kind of keeps me on my feet and makes me look. I got to make a new one for this year, but I think I would love to work with Tyler the
Tyler the
Creator,
Creator.
because I'm a fanboy, bro. Like
Mhm.
I love that dude. He's a beautiful man. He makes fucking amazing music. He's a great soul. And I feel like working with him, bro, like in the studio would be so much fun.
Mhm.
Cause like bro can like he can compose, and that's what I'm trying to learn to do because I sample in most of my music. Like
Mhm.
I know how to play the ukulele and that's basically it. And besides like just pulling up my keyboard to like play some 808s, that's like really it. So I think that would be so much fun to just chill with him, like eat some yams or like have some tea and just like fire ass shit. I would love that.
Yeah. So would you say Tyler kind of like had like inspired you to make music a little bit?
He definitely, you know what? He inspired me to not give a fuck
Yeah.
about what people thought of me.
Yeah.
It definitely a personality thing for sure
Mhm.
because and it's not like, you know, I'm not like taking diligent notes off these artists and thinking like, oh, well, like, I gotta be exactly like them. But when I was a kid, I was searching for myself. Like Tyler really like, I love that energy, and I'm a very like energetic, extroverted person.
Yeah.
So it's like he really kind of taught me to like embrace that because he kind of had the same shit. I wasn't getting as in much trouble as he was, but I definitely like I'm kind of like bouncing off the wall sometime, and he kind of made me feel like that shit was like okay, you know, like
Hmm.
I didn't have to fucking like mask myself around certain people and like pretend to be something I'm not, to think it's to like try to show people I'm cool, because you
Yeah.
know in high school that's like
The
all it
most
is.
important thing. Yeah.
You're just constantly like checking your fit, making sure like, you know, your fucking hoodie strings are the same fucking length and all this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
gotta make, you gotta make sure like, yeah, it's just it's I definitely took a lot of like inspiration off of just like his mentality too, for
Hmm.
sure. Like, but in terms of where I'm at right now, Screaming Ruby from Suicide Boys. Like
Yeah.
I would my thing jotted down on my list that I was talking about before is I want to give them a hug. That's all
Yeah.
I want. I don't even gotta work with them. I just want to hug them and say thank you, and like that would be cool with me.
Yeah.
They're so fucking inspiring, and like lyrically, and I like they were there for me. Like their music was there for me in a lot of moments I needed them.
Hmm.
So
All
yeah,
right. So,
definitely is.
so who are some of your favorite underground artists right now?
Oh, well, besides the people I shouted out,
Yeah.
um, fuck. I love Seven. I
Hmm.
think that he's definitely an underrated artist for sure. I'm surprised he's not as big as he is now.
Hmm.
Um, or not as sorry, not as big as he is, as he should be is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. I think that bro could be a lot bigger, and I think that a lot of people are overlooking him because if you listen to like Blue by him, uh that song when he came out with that album with a mask on it, like that was like I listened to that and I'm like holy shit, like I've talked to this dude and he's
Yeah.
like he's not fucking around, he's so fucking talented, his fits go crazy every time. I i don't listen to him all the time, but I do fuck with the vision and I fuck with the vibe.
Hmm.
um Ethereal Visions, which is a collective by this guy named Mackie, I know, uh, and a bunch of his other friends. So like, I love turning up to their music. They got that more like Odd Future style type vibe, like Brockhampton almost.
Yeah.
Not anywhere like you know where they're like riding a wave or anything. They're doing their own shit. So I love listening to them. But if we're talking like more like underground, like shit, I could put on Ox and people like some people would know them, some people wouldn't. Like Xavier Wolf,
Hmm.
um Bones, like just kind of that more like I don't know dark trap type scene.
Hmm.
I guess like Young Lean is like I mean I guess he's more popular now, but like I fuck with Young Lean a lot. But it's kind of hard because like underground, like I was fucking with Snot, you know, like
Yeah.
Snot is dope as fuck too. But I don't even know if I should call him underground anymore. 'Cause,
He's
I
kind
mean,
of he's kind of in like that middle ground. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't really say like he's underground anymore cuz like I think he has like a gold song with like Cochise or something like that.
yeah.
I wouldn't
Oh, and
really.
I love Cochise. He's
Yeah.
so fucking funny, bro. And he
Yeah.
loves One Piece. Like
Yeah.
that's a bro. He's so fucking dope.
Mhm.
I would love to work with him too. He's
Mhm.
so funny.
Yeah, so
I fuck with
who's
him.
like your favorite One Piece character? Cause like I just started watching One Piece, and I'm not gonna lie, I there's a specific character I'm forgetting his name. Fuck,
Hmm.
what's his name? Usopp. I don't fucking
Oh,
like Usopp, bro.
okay. All right. Well, if we talking about One Piece, I might need a second to just kind of air out what I need to say about One Piece, if that's
Yeah.
cool. So Luffy is definitely my favorite character
Mhm.
by far.
Yeah.
And that's because I found that anime in a really when I was in a really like dark headspace
Mhm.
and I was really pissed off and like I was just angry. And that anime really lifted me up and Luffy is kind of like I idolize him a lot because he just no matter what he goes through, he's always there to help people and he's always like getting back up and just doing his shit.
Mhm.
So when I say like I'm Pirate King KX or King of the Pirates type shit, like I mean that shit. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not even for a meme. It's just like I love that anime so much and like I strive to be that way. I want to be the King of the Pirates in my own regard. I don't gotta be like fucking like, you know, biggest artist of all time. I don't mean that when I say that. It's just like I want Luffy's whole ideology is he wants to be free.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mental in my brain I want to be free, so it's like as I keep working with like trying to solve my problems or like reaching out to people to try to help them, like that helps me, that frees me. So Luffy is definitely like my favorite character because of those reasons and because of who he is. But I when you said Usopp, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I love Usopp.
Why?
Everybody shits on me for it. I love Usopp. He's just this like I don't know, bro. He's
Like
just
I
an
would say
OG.
he's like I would say like he's really realistic because like there's a whole bunch of crazy shit going on in the show and like who the fuck wouldn't be scared of like a fucking big ass shark chasing him around and shit. Like, so I
True,
understand like why he's so fucking
true.
scared, but it's just like everyone else around him is just like so different. So like it kind of like throws it off for me because like you have everyone fucking
Yeah.
doing a whole bunch of shit and he's just like scared of everything.
You know, I categorize like if I were to like make a comparison, he's definitely the Shaggy and Scooby of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a him, Nami, and Chopper are like the three that kind of like run away a lot in the beginning. Wano, once you get to Wano, bro, and I okay. First of all, fuck when people say this shit where it's like a good go to run episode whatever. Like I don't say that shit. I tell people watch the anime. You will enjoy it because people are like, oh, why is it 1,000 episodes? It's because Oda doesn't want to finish the series because it's not about finding the One Piece. You know what I mean? It's like it's all about like just the world building and like getting invested in the characters and the world, and it's beautiful and like you know like for a lot of people, anime is an escape, and that's a perfect escape because you be seeing the you have episodes where they're just on the ship chilling, you know, talking, doing some stupid ass shit. Sanji's cooking, you know, Robin's reading, all this other. You know, you just get to see them kind of live their lives. And then in other episodes, it takes like 15 episodes for Luffy to beat a fucking character. You know what I mean? But it's still like cool because you don't want to rush it. You know, if you're going through a tough time, I recommend just watching that shit because you get just for me, it was just like an escape. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad it didn't end because then I'd be like, what the fuck do I watch now? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
so
no
is
other
that like the
animes.
only anime you watch, or is there like other
No.
anime that
Oh, bro, I'm going down the rabbit hole. My girlfriend is. I'm sorry, I keep playing with my hair. It's
It's
going
cool, bro.
crazy right now.
It's
but
cool, bro.
oh, but my girlfriend's huge in anime. Like she's watched over 1,000 like different anime. I don't think she's finished 1,000, but she's definitely like watched and tried and watched multiple episodes of like each anime in that range. And so she's shown me a lot. I've just recently finished like within this past like year or two, Noragami, Darlene the Franks, Your Lie in April, which fucked me up. Like
Damn, I
that
heard
shit
of
killed.
that. I heard of it, but I never watched it. What is it about?
It's about this dude who is a prodigy, like piano player. And you kind of learn why he's a prodigy and why he's so good, which is kind of like a very somber story.
Mm-hmm.
But it ties into the main plot of him. He meets this girl who's she plays a violin, and she basically inspires him to play music again. And it's kind of like a love story, but it's also him falling back in love with playing music. So he struggles with he's like an ex piano player coming back. He basically like quote unquote retired and stopped,
Yeah.
but he's doing it again. So he has to like try to overcome the trauma that he had in his past life of the whole reason why he stopped playing piano, which I
Mm-hmm.
won't spoil, but he has to overcome it. And basically like through this girl, she inspires him to kind of like push past that trauma and like, you know, keep trying at it. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's a really
Mm-hmm.
good come up story and really cute anime. Quick too, like
Mm-hmm.
very quick. But
Do you kind of like relate to some of the themes in the show? Um,
which one?
um, fuck.
Your Lie in April.
Yeah.
Um,
Like
Not
obviously you're
because
not gonna relate to being a piano player, but
yeah. Uh not really because it's like I never fell off, I feel like, of like my grind.
yeah,
Like I've always kind of been making music since I started. There are a lot of times. The thing is like being. I'm in college right now,
yeah,
and being in college is like I basically freshman year of college. I was dating this girl for a really long time, and we had broken up for a very like wholesome reason. You know, there's no bad blood or anything, but that really like that breakup. You know, that was all I knew for the longest time, so it really fucked me up. So I kind of went on like when I turned single, like it was a really long time since I've been single. So I would like I you know spent a lot of that time trying to find myself and meet new people and do all this shit. So I took a really big break from music,
yeah,
and up until like I think like during the start of 2022 was like my most like shortest year in terms of like making music, because in 2020 I released like 4 albums because I was like go 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 go.
hmm,
But like during that time, not only just being in college but having like that social life, it was really hard for me to kind of go in my room and be alone and like write shit because I was like just so I was running from my problems for the longest time.
yeah.
And
You
then
was
when I
too, you
met
was too caught up with like your social life and like trying to run away from like how you're
yeah,
feeling. Yeah,
yeah, and that's a big thing that I learned too, because my current girlfriend, she's so fucking like I owe her, you know, my life because she's helped me so much through just like being open. Like I'm really good at talking to other people about my like about their problems. You
yeah,
know, I'm good at playing the therapist and doing that shit. I love doing that shit. I love helping people, but I suck at talking about myself
yeah,
because like people like my parents or Julia or like other people like my homies will ask me if I'm doing all right, and you like for the longest time I would just say like yeah I'm fine, I'm chilling. I try to sidetrack it. Like the most I talk about myself is when I try to relate to people
hmm,
if I'm in that space where that's comfortable for them, so they feel less alone.
hmm,
But if it's not about that, then I'm kind of very to myself. So like I ran away from a lot of my problems beginning of 2022,
hmm,
and like just basically recently I've been doing really well with just kind of like facing shit and confronting shit on my own end. But
hmm,
it with that, like with growing as a person from just that breakup and now being in a new relationship, it's just like and after like figuring myself out independently and being single, which was really like helpful for me to kind of get my feet back on the ground. It's just like I've been able to work on music a lot more and feel more comfortable like in my own like headspace, being
hmm,
alone in a room.
yeah,
And be a little bit more independent. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So what are your future goals right now when it comes to like music and stuff?
you know, like, are you talking big picture or
Big
like,
picture, but if there's certain things like you can't talk about because like you don't want to like spoil it, like you could just cut it short if you want to.
okay.
Yeah,
Um, well, like, the biggest thing for me is just like, in terms of overall goal, like,
yeah,
big goal, is
hmm,
I just want to take care of the people around me. You know,
hmm,
I want to, like, just, be able to repay a lot of, not like debts, because I don't, like, have legitimate debts with people, but there are a lot of, like, adults that have taken care of me as a kid when I'd, like, go over to, like, my homie's house or, like, you know, I know a lot of people, including my friends, that I feel like I want to help take care of them if I get to this point of like, expendable income. I want to be able to like buy a nice dinner or like buy a car for them or some shit like, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I'm not materialistic, but I want to be able to take care of my parents. I want to be able to take care of my girl. I want to be able to help out my friends if they need help, or like, like a couple of them are still like on the rise of artists, and I want to help like bring them out, like tour with them, do all that shit. Like I just want to like get to the point where I have the credibility and the platform to really help people and like give back to you know like community and just like people overall. But that's like the big picture. Like I just want to help people. But in terms of like short term, I got projects on the way. I'm always working. I'm just doing doing what I do. I'm working with. I think like I really want to start working with a lot of new artists too. A lot of artists I haven't worked with yet, which I have been doing. Um, I got open with Lucy. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. It's either like Lucci or Lucy. It's Frick Lucy on Instagram.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I know who that is. I think I know who that is.
yeah, bro, it's hella talented. But I got to open with him. I just did one with K.XXIV, which was cool, and then I got one with Reverse Playback, the dude from Milwaukee. So I'm yeah, just working with new people. That's what I want to do. I just want to expand myself and like keep going up and bring my brothers up with me. Anyone who's part of the cult, you know, we're all in it together. That's the big
Yeah.
picture.
All right. So, what is like? This is the last question, by the way. What is like
Gotcha.
your, what is like the message to your fans, if you were to like have a message for them?
You are not alone.
Yeah.
Ever. Never. Never alone. Like, you got this shit. Keep moving forward. Keep doing what you're doing. Do not worry about what other people think of you. Keep on the right track. And, you know, if you guys need anything, consolidate in yourselves, consolidate if you need my music for any reason, but also reach out. Don't think that you can do everything by yourself because at the end of the day, utilize the people around you, you know, your friends. If you have a good, voice crack.
Yeah, that's
if
cool.
you had a if you had a you know, good family connection, like reach out to family, you
Mhm.
know, learn to trust people and learn to trust yourself, but like, you know, have a good judge of character and don't let anyone tell you you can't do nothing. Like, just be yourself and remember that whatever you're going through, there's always somebody else going through the same shit or similar shit. So we're a lot less alone than we think we are.
Yeah,
So
definitely agree. All right,
yeah.
man. That was fire. Like I.